Welcome to the Hamsi Analytics Daily Market Commentary. I'm Pablo Navarro. Today is Wednesday, August 29, 2012. For the market internals, the New York Stock Exchange advanced decline differential closed at 452. Nasdaq advanced decline differential closed at 467. We had 11 new 52-week highs for the S&P 500 and 2 new 52-week lows for the S&P 500. For the volatility, there were 227,000 contracts traded for the VIX today, with 37 million in total premiums paid. For the dollar weighted put call ratio in September, we saw a 0.43 reading, which is bearish, with 21% of the total premiums paid. For October, a 0.46 reading, with 27% of the total premiums paid. In November, a 0.38 reading, with 18% of the total premiums paid. And in February, a 1.14 reading, with 24% of the total premiums paid. Almost all of the premiums were bearish here, as you could see the red cells here on the dollar weighted put call ratio. But we must say that volume today was not very robust. Here we have the daily chart for SPX. Very interesting action today. Again, we have another doji on the chart, flat for the market today. We could see here that this week we basically done nothing. We were stating a flat line here on the market. Nothing's going on. The market and everybody's waiting for what's gonna happen on Friday with Bernanke's speech. So it's probably going to continue until tomorrow, another flat day, unless we get something, some news or something, and then we're gonna do something or pop or drop here on Bernanke's speech. We're gonna just again go over the targets really quick. Here we have CI continues to point lower. Slope is negative. We continue to be red, but the slope is now negative here. On CI, same thing is going on CI. We're in negative territory here. Sigma channel width is now contracting again. This is because the lack of movement we're getting in the market, nothing is going on. Sigma channels are contracting. Now let's go here to the target. We're looking for the upside target of 1427. That's going to be positive to Sigma. That is going to be our upper target. And on the downside, we still want 06 to hold in case we get some type of pullback. But we are pretty much at 06 on the lows of the day, which 06 right now is at 1404.9. Let's call it 1405. So that's an important level to hold. If we do not hold, our lower target would be 1394. 1393 would be our lower target. That's gonna be 1427, 1428 on the upside, and 1395 on the 94 on the downside. Now let's go to the 60-minute chart. We continue to see that the market does not want to go away this pivot line. We're on the weekly pivot, and we're probably going to continue to be unless something happens either overnight or we get some news tomorrow. Here we're looking for the 1425 upper target of the week, and our lower target of the week would be 1397. Those are going to be the two levels we'll be watching for Bernanke. If we get a sell-off, we'll be looking for the 1397, and if we got maybe a pop, 1425, 1426. Pretty much in line on some confluence here on the levels with the daily chart we just talked about. So here again, we're gonna just watch what it makes and maybe get some confirmation of a drop here to go for that 1397 level. Or if we get a pop on Friday, we're gonna go and look for this 1425, 1426 level. Now going for SPY. Here we have the 60-minute chart for SPY, and you can see the targets here, pretty much the same we just talked about. Our upper target is going to be 143, and our lower target is going to be 140. Those are the two levels we're going to keep in mind here for Friday. In case we did get something else, you have here the next levels on the upside, in case we get something extremely bullish, or if we get a deep sell-off here, you also have these levels. These are going to be critical levels to hold on this weekly support, pivot, and resistance. Now going for IWM levels. This is the Russell 2000 index. The ETF here, we could see this is tradable. Most people watch it here, pretty much same levels we're getting, very close to the 06 to the weekly pivot, and we're watching for a break above 82.24, maybe go up and test weekly resistance number 2 at 83.80. In case we get some type of a sell-off, we're looking for 79.60 and 78.60. Those are gonna be our targets on the upside and downside. We're gonna keep on watching for Friday what Bernanke has to come and speak. Now let's get this 60-minute weekly support and resistance levels for the Qs. Pretty much the same we've been talking about. We're gonna look for a breakout above 68.9, and if we do get that, we're looking for 59.5. That's gonna be the weekly support resistance number 2. On the downside, a break below 68.20, that's the weekly pivot. We're looking for 67, 63, and then 67. Those are gonna be important lines here. You can see they're somewhat tight now on the volatility for the Nasdaq. Now going to GLD. For GLD, we're gonna start with the daily chart. Here we have the daily chart, a red day today. We were down a lot earlier in the day and were able to close off the lows, but still significantly lower. We sold off by 0.65% for the day and closed at 160.60. Let's call it. Very interesting. Yesterday we talked about holding and going to touch the 200-day moving average. This purple line here, we talked about it yesterday. Today it happened. We tested the 200-day moving average, and if we are able to hold this 200-day moving average after Bernanke's speech, it's gonna be very bullish here. Remember that this rally here, breaking above the 200-day moving average that occurred last week, was all due to Bernanke's expectation that we are going to get more QE. So if Friday he comes and says there's no QE, we're probably going to go down to our range that we were there before. If it doesn't break the 200-day moving average and we're able to hold, expect further upside on GLD. But again, we need to wait to see what happens after Bernanke's speech. It's gonna be very important, and gold is gonna be critical here. So for the levels we're watching, of course, the 200-day moving average on the downside, we want that level to hold. In the upside, we're looking for 165.26. That's gonna be positive 3 sigma on the daily. So that's the levels we have here. In case we do break lower, we would be watching for 157.85 and 155.40. Those are the levels here on our daily chart for GLD. Going to the 60-minute chart, here we have the weekly pivot, support and resistance. We're watching again for this weekly pivot, which is the pretty much in line with the 200-day moving average. That's going to be very important to hold this weekly pivot. In case we break to the downside, we're looking for 158 we just talked about, and then 154.30, almost in line with the daily chart levels, except for this weekly resistance support number 2. This is a little above at 155, so 155, 154 would be our targets on the downside. On the upside, if we do get some news for Bernanke and gold likes it, we're going for 164.09. That's going to be an important level here. That's weekly support resistance number 1. If we break extremely bullish, we're looking for 166. That's the target we're looking here, 164, 166. If we get something bullish for gold with Bernanke's speech. Okay, last chart we're gonna go and look is the VIX. Here we have the daily chart for VIX. We were up 3.5% for the day. We continue to go higher as the market approaches Bernanke's speech, and we get back some of the volatility that was lost on the last couple of weeks. Still, the VIX is at 17, pretty low level here on the VIX. Very complacent for the NAP market. And you can see how the Sigma channels have collapsed a lot now. You can see it started from the time that we made the bottom, and now we're starting to go very low. A lot of contraction here on the Sigma channels. Maybe we're going to get a pop to the upside on Bernanke's speech, but this volatility compression is kind of worrisome. We're going to have to break either to the up or downside, and the sigma channels are now so compressed that we're probably going to break out or break down. If we do break out, probably it's going to look like this, going to 24 pretty fast, and that would be pretty bearish for the market. So we're looking for 24 on the VIX in case of a breakout on the VIX after Bernanke's speech. And here we have a lot of levels, maybe stay around the 15, 14 level. So we're gonna watch what happens here, but the VIX is clearly pointing out that we are probably going to get ready for a big move here on the VIX. We have a special offer by TradeStation. Get your Hamsey Analytics proprietary indicators paid by TradeStation. Contact Active Traders office in Chicago, Peter Albino, at the number listed below. Have a great